What's going on, guys? I've busted out the Imperial Assault minis here to kind of proxy and take the place of some Legion miniatures because I felt like getting started early and trying to build some terrain. So I'm not going to do the whole build for you today, but I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I'm using to help me get started. For reference, I'm not an expert terrain builder. I have done some building with foam and stuff before. If you see behind me in some of my videos, I have the Emperor's Throne Room. That's built out of the same type of foam board. So I've built a few things like that, but I'm not an expert at it by any means. So one of the things that you're going to need is an X-Acto knife, a glue gun, and some foam board. And this is you can use any kind of foam you want. You can use regular styrofoam. It's light, it's easy to handle. Or the blue foam here that I'm using is insulation foam, and you can get this from like a Lowe's or Home Depot. If you're going to go with this, you may want to go with this is like 1/2 inch thick. You want to go with the thickest kind you can find because it's generally going to work best for building big boulders and mountainous type of stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to do something Hoth inspired. And coming from some of the games like Star Wars Battlefront, there are big walls of ice, and there are parts where like the rebels have little doorways. These are not the main hangar bay, although the main hangar bay would be awesome, but I just wanted to do something simple. And so I was thinking, well, you know what, maybe if I take a couple and cut a couple of triangular pieces and then put another piece on top, like so, I can kind of get that, that little entryway, and it could provide a little bit of cover. With a character coming right out right there, a little bit of cover, and also it would look thematic. And that's kind of what I was going for. And one of the other things, so I've already kind of done that. And basically what you kind of do with this type of material is one of the things you want to do is make lots of tiny cuts, right? I kind of go like a saw and make lots of. And don't go all the way through. And be very careful when you're doing this. And once you get it most of the way done, you can just, it snaps, and it comes pretty clean. And the thing is, a lot of this foam tends to, depending on how sharp your blade is or whatever, it has a very organic touch. And so this looks very much like ice. And so a lot of this can work for ice. I'm probably going to try and sand it out, but I've already kind of glued some of it together. So this is kind of the piece that I came up with right here. And this can be kind of a rebel hangar bay, right? I can start with some troops in there if I wanted to, or whatever. But just having you only need like half of your squad in there to be able to count as getting cover. So that's kind of cool. The other thing I wanted to do is take some bigger pieces like this. This thing comes in huge sheets, and the idea is I wanted it to go like right there, then another one on top, and basically make a wall of ice. Okay, now the problem is that this is totally flat, so this wouldn't look good as a wall of ice. So I have this other tool here, and this is a Styro Cutter Plus. Now, the Styro Cutter Plus is a really nice tool for cutting styrofoam. Look at this. Woo, it gets real hot. Cuts right there. So it's great for shaping terrain, right? You can do all kinds of cool stuff with one of these things. It's awesome. The only problem is it heats up, so you have to be very careful. It's like a soldering iron, right? Got a little switch on it, and you can get this. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's, or basically a hobby store. But the more you cut, the temperature goes down because it gets really, really hot, and then it cuts like a hot knife through butter. But partway through your cutting, it'll start to cool off. The cooler it gets, the slower it starts to cut, and it leaves like strands of like stringy stuff that you have to, sand and clean up afterwards. So that's just something I have to deal with. But basically, to get the ice effect, so instead of using regular styrofoam, I'm using the insulation foam. There's all kinds of cool things you can do here. You can use it to put holes and stuff. If you want to do that, it goes through real easy. You can put like a grading pattern on terrain, like look at that, boom, 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 boom. Right now it's like a wall or something like that, or now it's a checkerboard. Now it's floor grading. Right now I'm doing this real quick. I would be more careful if I was trying to do something more serious, but you can do that, or you can just use it to cut different shapes into stuff, like so. And this is great for cutting like rocks or any kind of, if you're going to do indoor or anything outdoors, you can cut stuff like that. So that would be fun. But what I'm going to do is a little different. I'm going to use, I'll use the other side. No, I don't want to use the other side. I'll use this piece. me use this piece to kind of show you the effect that I'm going for. Is I want to generate an ice looking pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to take it along the top and kind of cut in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of running across the surface, only like a few millimeters deep, cutting across. Now, I don't recommend doing this on such a tiny piece because you're more likely to burn your hands. And if you're going to do this, do it in a well-ventilated room because this stuff stinks, and I'm not entirely sure that it's non-toxic. But now, all of a sudden, look at that. Now, doesn't that look like ice? All right? Now I've got really good, now granted, I'm still going to paint it in white, and then I'll wash it with like a blue wash to go into the cracks and crevices and stuff. And I can put deeper crevices in there if I want, stuff like that. So now I've got a really nice ice piece, okay? And so this particular thing, I'm going to paint black and gray, because that's the color of the Rebels base, the metal and stuff in there. So I started with a big piece already, and so you can already see, just doing that. And this takes a long time. I'm not going to make you suffer through all of that, but this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm just taking it in here, and it takes a long time because I'm using a cheap, maybe you get a more expensive tool that doesn't cool down as easily, but I have to do like a few inches of it and then take a break and let it kind of warm back up again, because this thing, once it starts to cool off, it's not as good anymore. But it takes a long time. So this is going to take hours, maybe even, this is probably going to take days to get this thing finished, because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the whole thing in one night. But I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm doing, and the finished product should look a little something like this, right? And what I'm doing is also cut a slight angle here, so this will go a little bit sideways, and then I can put some of these little pieces behind it and glue those on to be like stands, right? So it stands up. Yeah, and then it can be modular because I can cut multiple rectangular pieces, and then build, a wall however I want. So there's a lot of flexibility there. So it's just one piece of the Hoth terrain. And again, you can make little boulders and mountains using the same technique and kind of glue them side to side and make your own little rocks and stuff. But I thought this was a pretty cool technique on making Hoth terrain for Star Wars Legion. So let me know what you think, guys. Do you like it? Does it look too crummy for you? Or, once I get this thing finished, I'll do a follow-up video, and then maybe I'll do a video with it painted and see what the finished product looks like. Do you want to see more of that? If so, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed and entered to win my next giveaway, which should be announced sometime next week, for a $20 Cool Stuff gift card, which will help you get some of the newest X-Wing stuff, or maybe you just want to save that towards getting some Legion stuff once that comes out in early 2018. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.